In this video, we're going to interview Fatih. He joined the sales consulting program a few months back, having a background in cybersecurity, working as a business development representative or appointment setter with a little bit of experience in closing prior to that. Now, he came into sales consulting with no experience ever having been a sales manager, doing a ton of marketing, operations, or really a lot of what goes into growing a business beyond just taking and closing calls. And so we're going to interview him in person, actually here where I'm at in Medellin, and you get his full and complete take on not only what it was like prior to the program, but what his experience was, and more importantly, what his deal is. Fatih is one of our members that was able to work with a client that is not a info coaching consulting product, but a real business that sells manufactured steel homes for people. The whole hurricane has gone on in Florida, and so he's going to be part of the initiative working with a company that's got government incentives and a whole bunch of cool stuff to help sell these homes. So without further ado, let's pass it to the interview. What's going on, guys? Kaleb here, and I'm on with Fatih. Fatih, how are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. So we're here today because Fatih closed his first sales consulting client, and we're going to talk about his story really from the start all the way through to where he's at now. We're here in the lovely Medellin, Colombia, which I think was part of the experience as well. It's mandatory that part of the program that you come join. But yeah, let's take it from the top. For context, what's your background? Like, what were your background prior to sales consulting?
Yeah, prior to sales consulting, I had been doing multiple remote sales roles, as a closer, setter for the last 4 or 5 years. But I knew there was something more that I could do and unlock value for businesses because in each experience, there was always something missing from the team. And unfortunately, I didn't have the belief or the skills at the moment to make a difference and push the revenue team over the edge and actually hit our goals more consistently.
And what would you say was kind of like, did you have any moments where you were like, I don't know, what was kind of like your rock bottom that you felt within your sales career, and what kind of inspired you to get towards sales consulting?
Yeah, so rock bottom for me was I took a remote sales role at an AI company that was severely underpaying me because I had lost some of my confidence when it came to sales, and they had recently fired me. They didn't pay me out on my commissions, right?
Of course.
Classic. And I was extremely pissed off in that moment. Because I knew I was worth a lot more. I knew I could do better. So for more context, within this startup, I was closing for like 6-7 months, and I didn't negotiate well in that deal, and that's what caused it.
Was this prior to coming to the org, like negotiating your setup for being with them?
Yeah, like I wasn't asking for what I was worth for whatever reason.
Right.
I had previously been coaching and consulting with businesses, but I had a fallout with one of my business partners, and that really made me spiral downwards and lose a lot of my belief in the whole consulting side, coaching side, sales side. So when I met you through your funnel, I just saw a few ads, and then I knew I could do it, but I wanted someone there to help guide me and keep me accountable because at the end of the day, you don't have accountability externally. Sometimes it's a lot more difficult to stay on the path. And so fast forward to now, close my first deal with a real estate company, building homes in Florida, legitimate business. It's exciting, and I'm building the foundation for them. We just recruited a salesperson. It's been going really well so far.
Right. Well, and so also, how did you find FSC? Was it just purely through the ads?
Yeah, so I actually saw other offers. Not going to put any names out there. They were definitely, they made a lot of bold claims. But after doing some research, I thought it was bullshit, just to keep it simple. And it was less authentic than you. I saw a few ads of yours and I compared the two, and I went ahead with you.
Yeah. And was that authenticity the thing that you felt like got you over the line, or what was that kind of final thought before pulling the trigger?
Well, yeah, the authenticity was what mattered to me. I mean, that's one of my core values. If I sense that someone is just doing it strictly just for the money and to get ahead, then look, I wouldn't be sitting with you here if I felt that way. So every coach, consultant, anyone who I've hired to work with or paid to coach me and keep me accountable has always paid off. because I have discernment when it comes to the authenticity of the person
Right.
and how they're actually going to show me the path. And if they've actually done it themselves, you've done it yourself, and you're a lot younger than me. I mean, 6 years, 7 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
Now, what were your expectations coming in, and then how was the experience?
Expectations were simple. I mean, I knew I was going to get a deal, but I didn't want to force one.
Yeah.
I didn't want to force an opportunity with a company that wasn't aligned with me and didn't sell an offer that I actually believed in. Now, when it came to, working with you one-on-one, you always made yourself available, kept it transparent, kept it real. And with this first deal, it's first of many. Sure, I'm going to lean on you a little bit to, navigate some of the headwinds, because that's business. There's always going to be ups and downs. You're never going to have a perfect season. But it's good to have someone in your corner like yourself who can help you navigate that rather than just going alone.
Right.
Look, you could try to go alone, but, as a team, as a unit, if you don't have a board of advisors or directors, you got to search for one. I mean, that's one of my mentors told me that. He's like, look, if you don't have someone in your corner to give you an objective view of what's going on, you're not going to see reality for what it is. And you need someone in your corner that's going to keep it real with you, so that way you can make adjustments if things do go wrong or don't go your way.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, that's also for anybody, this is something that I do really love, is I think to be able to be part of the deals and active in that with you. It's, it's not just, okay, you've done the thing, go figure it out. Like, I'm very excited and optimistic, I think, to kind of see where this goes, what it builds, the insights, the innovations. And so, what do you feel like was your biggest breakthrough from the program? What was the biggest kind of insight?
Biggest breakthrough was, I would say, right before this deal closed, we had a conversation around how to negotiate and set up a favorable deal and manage expectations with the founders. That wasn't something I was as skilled in. And as I work with them, it's important for me to continue using that, because that breakthrough, you keep applying the same lesson in different ways.
Yeah.
And like, for example, we just had a recent call with that founder that I'm working with closely, and I had to level set with them. Hey, these are the expectations. These are our standards. If we're not going to follow them, why are we even working together? Right. So it's important to keep it professional, and I think you definitely do a great job of that.
Yeah, no, I think that's also one of the most important things that I've observed that everybody kind of learns is, unlike the high ticket sale where it's just like one and done, these are the terms, that's it. It's a constant working with the client, helping them understand, helping kind of reframe, give them a new perspective and keep them walking with you. Ultimately what I've observed is that until you start to get sizable results and cash is flowing with them, there's always going to be these jitters in the beginning where they're going to want to come back and change terms or renegotiate. And it's a lot of just about, it's like, look, stay focused on the vision. This is where we're going. This is where we're heading. Like, we had talked about prior. Now they're talking, they want to come back to terms, but this is all part of the process. This is something that we've seen not only in your instance, but one of our top members, Daryl, had that, signed the deal, closed, and the day after the guy's like, actually, I'm doing the math. I don't know if I'm going to make enough from this. And it's like, you're worried about money that you're not making. It's like, we have to stay focused on like making the money first, and then we can break it up afterwards. So no, I think that's good. How did you find this deal? And then for as much as you want to share, what is kind of the deal, the terms, and what did you come out to?
Yeah, so I found this deal through one of the funnels that I was actually closing for. They ended up not needing the product that I was offering them. And I saw an opportunity there with my newfound awareness and being a part of this community. Is like, okay, there's always a deal there. It's just, is it the right deal for them at this very moment?
Right. This wasn't the first deal too. You had a couple conversations and negotiations with other people.
Yeah, and they just weren't good fits. You're going to go through this process where you're going to think, oh, this is actually a good fit. And then they'll reveal themselves to you. It's important to pay attention where, okay, are they actually serious about what they're saying? Do they actually believe what they want to do? And will they back it up with money?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, everyone can talk a big game, but until money is exchanged, bank accounts, are withdrawn from and deposited into, it doesn't mean shit.
Right. Yeah, the deal's not closed. The deal isn't closed even when it's signed. The deal's closed when it's paid and the money hits the account.
Exactly.
It's something I've lived by as a salesperson. And then what terms did you come out to, if you want to talk numbers?
Yeah, so it was like a 2K retainer per month, but the upside is around the commission. So the structure of the deal, it's a real estate company. We're building homes in Florida. The goal is 400 homes in 2025 and roughly 160 million in revenue. Now, it's a very lofty goal considering the business has been existing for 2 years and they've only made a handful of sales that are non-steal homes. So I'm realizing that, there's a lot of work, but what I'm implementing into this is the key skills of delegation and systems management. Those two things are what's going to drive us to win. I'm doing my best not to go into the weeds and become another closer for them because that's not my role.
Right.
So it's really important if you're doing this to not go back into past habits and roles and just be a closer.
Yeah.
Actually be a strategic advisor, and your job is to recruit the right people to place into the opportunity.
Right.
For example, their GHL is a mess. Right. And so they're like, yeah, we want to get this GHL guy. They're just talking about it.
Right.
Whereas I'm going ahead and interviewing companies, and we just got a proposal for one. We're going to bring them on. They're going to manage it.
Right.
Also had to fire, and we're in the process of firing 2 marketing agencies that aren't performing. I had a very key conversation with the founder where it's like, oh, it's okay. They've only been around for 45 days. They're willing to meet with us now, all these things.
Right.
And they're lowering their standard. And it's my job to say, hey, we're not going to lower the standard. We're going to raise it. We're going to cut off the wrong relationships with the wrong companies. And we're only going to put capital and resources into people that are actually going to deliver, and we can see the tangible results.
Right.
So me just doing that saved them at least 20, 30 grand in the next 4 months.
Right.
Right? Because they were just going to burn marketing budget for no reason. And I'm also interviewing media buyers and placing a Google Ads expert, Facebook Ads expert, someone that I manage myself. And from your coaching, you're saying, hey, ask a bunch of these agencies and media buyers how they would solve the problem to really understand the psychology and understand how they would actually work with you. So that was really helpful.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And I think this is one of the beautiful instances of just straight leverage. You're not taking the calls. And I think some people, that's really the biggest thing that we're trying to crack is what comes next after sales? We're trying to get you out of the sales into a place of leverage. And this is a phenomenal opportunity. So yeah. Well, what comes next? What do you see over the horizon?
Yeah, so what's next? Well, it's one thing to close a deal and get a retainer. It's another thing to actually drive results and make a meaningful income from it.
Yeah.
So, in Q1 2025, we're positioning ourselves to be, the goal is minimum 40 homes sold.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to be a challenge, but look.
What would be the math on that backwards? If you hit that goal of 40, what comes out to you?
Yeah, so roughly speaking, that's around 320K as it stands.
Not bad for a quarter.
Yeah, and the closer makes a ton too. So it's It's very favorable for everyone, but it's a longer sales cycle. There's going to be a lot of learning, which I like getting paid to learn.
Yeah.
So it's a cool experience.
Yeah, and I think too, this is one where if you get this right, just Pandora's box opens up with how people are going to transact. Think about how Tesla doesn't really sell cars anymore. They just kind of exist and they have people that take orders. If you can understand the remote sales teams for homes, that's a complete innovation to an industry with remote sales teams and what could be done and new types of stuff. Also storage, container homes, boxable homes, things of that nature. You could find a startup like that, just plug yourself in with a case study, proven IP, proven processes. Then boom, you already have the marketing agency that knows how to do it, salespeople that know how to do it. So who knows? You keep it with the company, take it out of the company. Kind of depends on what the future has. So
Yes.
that's all wishful thinking, right? We want to come back to where we're at today. So
reality.
With reality. And so, but even though, what would you say for someone who's a skeptic watching this and is kind of I don't know if this is for me, what kind of advice would you give?
Well, the proof is undeniable. So if you're a skeptic and you dispute data, then good luck. The other thing is, if you truly don't want to do it, don't do it. But if you feel like somewhere in your heart, you're like, hey, I know I can do more. I know I'm not just another salesperson. I have other things to offer to the market. Go all in. Fuck it. What do you have to lose, right? In these deals, you're getting paid to learn on the job training, which is the best form of learning. You could read all the textbooks you want, watch all the videos, podcasts, you know, of your favorite gurus out there. But until you're actually on the field, attempting to score goals, none of that means anything, because that's the best way to learn.
Right.
And that's why I really appreciate you, man. You know, you're helping me along the way, and I'm excited to smash these goals.
Yeah, as much as I provide the information, you do the executions. I have to say, I mean, like,
Appreciate you, man.
yeah, respect all around. So,
For
but
sure.
yeah, there you have it. Fatih, from cybersecurity remote sales to constructible steel homes for Florida. Prime case study for FSC. For those of you guys who are watching this, not FSC, SC Sales Consulting. For those of you guys who are watching this and are curious to learn more, somewhere around this video, there'll be a link for you to set up a time to speak with me. And then Fatih, people wanted to reach out to you. Where's the best place to do that?
Yeah, you can.
I know you're building your own brand. If you're a closer too that wants to learn closing stuff, he started his own little tribe and community around it. So
Yeah, we're taking a special ops mentality. So, you know, I'm taking a variation of what I'm doing now and applying it to different industries like in real estate, insurance, and a few others, where we're building like a SEAL team. So they can follow me at Fatih Selim Safak at IG, or on IG, or join my school community, Quota Drive Elite.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
sweet. Let's make it
Let's
happen.
rock.
See you.